I can imagine you guys, when you read the script for the first time, that you knew it was something quite special. Were you really taken aback by just how amazing it was?
Yeah, honestly, for me, it was just such a personal project with me and Trey, and I knew him from It Comes at Night, and to kind of him to trust me to come on to this project and then collaborate with me in this way, and then suddenly just allow me to have so much freedom on set and tell such a beautiful story about a family, going through tragedy and healing is just I don't know, it's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, when I got the sides before I read the script, and then when I got the script and it was like synced up to music and there were so many colors and all the aspect ratios were changing throughout, it was an experience to read it, and it was an indicator that it was going to be, I mean, honestly, like quite epic, and so it was so unique that it was kind of like a gem.
Yeah, how much did this kind of give you fresh challenges as actors? Because you, both of the characters and the family itself go through such a wave of emotion and anger and hate and also love and affection. I mean, for you guys as actors, was this a fresh challenge that you hadn't thought that you could pull off?
For me, it was definitely more so in terms of navigating a toxic kind of dynamic and relationship, and also family, but also the whole athlete thing. I played athletes before, but I've never had to play someone with so much built up anger and frustration and just with so much heart and just kind of exploding constantly. So that aspect of it was like, I'm not like that, I guess. So I guess that's always interesting to explore.
Yeah, I hadn't played somebody in such a raw space before. I think there wasn't really any barriers to get in the way from it being really truthful and vulnerable, and so it just required things that that sometimes it's really hard to do to be so, I guess, open and heart open, and that's what you want to do in acting, but it's a challenge in itself, and it's also great when you have people around you who are doing the same thing and are asked of the same thing. So it's incredible to get challenges like that as an actor, because you're growing so much.
And also, I guess for young actors to then work with people like Renee and Sterling K. Brown, I mean, that must have been an experience all to itself, given that they've done so much amazing work. You must have learned so much of them.
Yeah, I mean, they're vets.
They're vets. Like I have so much like admiration for Sterling, and like when I had lunch with him before the movie, and when he was coming into the restaurant, I was like sweating, and it wasn't because I just left wrestling, because I had cleaned myself up just because he was coming. And so he walks through the door and he's sitting there having like lunch with me, and we're talking about the movie, and just seeing his presence and seeing how he carries himself and how he carries the set, and how he speaks to us as young actors and empowers us every day is something that we just don't get very often, especially from someone that looks like us. So
yeah, and to see Renee too, she's so great, and she's such a great theater actress, and I'm so excited for people to see her in film, because she's just so I guess, for lack of a better word, nuanced, and she's so refined in her choices that is so powerful, and not at all like what you would think her character would be. So I learned a lot of she has like a royal air about her that I admire.
Just as a very quick final question, it's an American set story, but what are you hoping a British audience takes away? Because it's quite a universal story in many ways.
I think it's still a story about family. It's a story about communication between two generations, parent and child, and ultimately like learning how to use your voice as a child, and also let your parent know how you're feeling, and also for the parent to have, it's a cautionary tale for them in a lot of ways, to see your kid and show love and compassion and patience. And
yeah. And ultimately just to heal and kind of like ask of you to go outside of what you think you could do with forgiving somebody when it's really hard, when you love somebody but you don't necessarily like their choices. So I don't know, I think there's a lot of forgiveness in it that is a good message to spread.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey You Guys!